two boys race through the Mediterranean countryside. The younger is not as strong as his brother, and he begins to fall behind in the thick, humid air. The elder calls back, but doesn't break stride. Keep up! It's just ahead! Elijah pauses to catch his breath.
What's just ahead? You still haven't told me where we're going. Slow down! Enoch!
But his brother disappears into the dense foliage.
A full day of work ahead of us, and he'd rather play tag.
Elijah resumes his chase, slowing to a jog. His only reason for following his brother is to appease this wanderlust as quickly as possible. Very little work will be done on their family's farm without Enoch, but despite his lumbering power, he cares little for manual labor. Elijah, on the other hand, is more grounded. He understands both his brother and the ever-present threat of famine. Unfortunately, the only way to pull him back into his responsibilities is to let his newest fascination run its course. He approaches the dense bushes. "It's in here!" a voice calls from behind. Elijah jumps, startled. He turns, but sees only a lumbering form vanish into the trees. He follows. The grove looks void of human life.
So now it's hide and seek.
Growing impatient with his brother's games, he checks the denser foliage. In a thick patch of bushes, he sees a small opening near the ground. Broken stick betrayed the presence of something larger within.
Great. This is just how I want to spend harvest time.
The boy crawls into the plants. It is a tight fit. Sticks jab into his side. He reaches to pull himself forward and feels a sharp pain in his hand. Ahead of him, thorns drip with blood. He squeezes his hand tightly. The bleeding slows, but doesn't stop. He inches forward slowly, using his good hand. Trees darken his path. Up ahead, he sees a light. A clearing.
Almost there.
He calls for his brother, but there's no answer. The ground below him feels dry and brittle. Then, just before reaching the clearing, the earth gives way. Elijah falls. The light of the clearing soars high above him. It grows faint, small. He tumbles through the earth. The dry soil hardens into clay, then rock. When his body slams to a stop against the hard floor, he sees a thin stream of light above him. He is in a cave, sore but uninjured, and he is not alone. Click, click, click. "There you are," says the towering figure of Enoch. He strikes a flint, trying to light a small torch. Click, click, whoosh. Flames spurt to life, illuminating the cave. "Looks like a tunnel."
How do we get out?
Elijah stares at the point of light far above his reach. "I guess we'll just have to find another way."
You mean you've never been here before?
"Not all the way down here, no." The younger boy is silent. "Looks like we'll just have to press on."
No, we have work to do. I've played along, hoping to get this over with quickly, but we've got to find a way out now. I had to leave Miriam with the flock so I could follow you. We can't just waste time playing in caves in the middle of nowhere.
But Enoch is already walking. Elijah runs after him in short, frantic bursts, trying both to keep near the only known exit and to stay with his older, stronger brother. "This isn't just a cave." They look around. Dark shadows flicker against the red light of the torch. They see rocks, earth. The walls are damp.
Seems pretty cave-like to me.
"Would you be quiet? I didn't drag you out here for nothing." Elijah is sure of that. He doesn't believe his brother would abandon his chores without a reason. The question is it a good reason?
So what is it?
"Miriam saw an angel near here."
Miriam is 5 years old!
He thinks back to his flock. He left his younger sister in charge. Just mentioning her name made him wince at the thought of what she may be doing. Carry on childish conversations with one sheep while the others wander away, letting them into the garden to give them something tastier than grass, or maybe... He turns away from thoughts of his sister.
Don't tell me you believe in all that stuff.
"Why shouldn't I?" Enoch doesn't glance back. He carries the torch forward, forcing his brother to follow in the warmth of the eerie red light.
Those stories about our ancestors living in paradise, God, angels, they made us behave when we were younger. They helped us get to sleep. They're just stories.
And what if they're not? He never understands why he argues with his brother. It never does any good. Enoch is resolved to believe what he chooses to believe.
Have you ever met our grandfather, let alone his grandfather? How do we know Adam was a real person?
"Have a little faith," he responds with a smirk. It's Enoch's way of justifying his beliefs. Faith. Anything could be true with faith. What's the worst that could happen if you believe?
What do you hope to find down here?
He looks closely at the dancing red light. The cave seems bigger here, but only slightly. The walls are smoother, the floor less rocky. "Probably nothing. But if we're lucky, Eden." Elijah stops, no longer concerned to stay near his brother or the safety of the torchlight.
Why are you wasting my time?
"Maybe you're right. Maybe there's nothing down here, but don't you want to take a chance?"
No! No! No!
His shouts echo through the cave. Startled, he tones his voice down.
I don't. It's not worth it. It's harvest time. The streams are drying up. We need to store food and water. We've got work to do.
But what if we find Eden? It's so much bigger than our own little life. Maybe we can find a way back to paradise. Think about it. If it's true, we won't have to kill ourselves working the soil or tending the flocks.
And if we don't, we'll have to work twice as hard tomorrow because of what we failed to accomplish today.
Enoch turns back toward the tunnel, spoken like a true non-believer.
Non-believer?
Outraged, Elijah chases him down the stone halls.
What are you saying? Aren't the faithful supposed to be rewarded for their labors? Aren't we supposed to be humble and serve?
No answer.
Let's find a way out of here. We have work to do. We can't waste time down here in the earth chasing angels and looking for...
A book. Elijah forgets his rage.
A book? I thought we were looking for a...
No! He holds the torch in front of him and gestures ahead. I mean, look! A book! Up ahead is an ornate archway carved into the rock. Beyond that is a cavernous room with nothing in it but a book resting on a stone pedestal. They approach it slowly.
What's a book doing way down here?
Enoch smiled oafishly. Good question. Let's find out. He reaches forwards and picked up the book. It is bound with a sheet of gold so fine that it bends like paper. Amazing. Do we know anyone who can read? Elijah leans closer in a rare moment of cooperation with his brother. He examines the book.
I don't think so. I'm not even sure these are Hebrew letters. Maybe it's foreign.
The book enchants him. He forgets his responsibilities. Somehow the strange book seems more important than anything else. Enoch touches the cover of the book lovingly.
What was that?
I don't know. I thought you said it.
We should put it back. I don't think we're alone.
But Enoch doesn't listen. He opens the book and stares dumbfounded at the empty pages.
I don't get it. There's nothing there. Why would someone hide an empty book way down in a cave like this?
I don't know. Maybe we can take it to a rabbi? Elijah glances around, looking for the source of the strange voice they heard.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think someone might be angry if we took it.
As if possessed by a guiding spirit, the elder presses his palm flat on one of the pages. Suddenly the earth begins to shake. A blinding light shoots from the page between his fingers. He drops the torch. The large boy trembles as his smaller brother backs away. Then everything stops. The light fades until only the weak flame of the torch illuminates the room. The shaking stops and Enoch collapses, the book falling neatly closed beside him. He lies still for a very long time. His brother looks on, stunned, silent. When he starts to stir, Elijah breaks the silence.
Enoch? Enoch! Enoch, what happened?
The large boy pulls himself to his feet very slowly, but with strong, deliberate movements. The power! Paradise! I was right! The words fall heavy from his mouth.
Are you all right?
He steps back nervously, hitting the torch. The flame dies. The light fades quickly. Embers glow on the ground. Oh, yes. I'm fine. His words are driven, possessed, mad.
We should leave. Let the book stay here, underground.
Enoch's eyes seem red in the weak light. He carefully picks up the book as if it were a small child. No, we have to stay. We have been chosen. It was God, brother. He spoke to me. I'm sure it was him. He wants us to join him in Eden. He advances on his brother. Elijah is frightened, suddenly aware of the difference in size. The young boy backs away, but is stopped by the hard stone wall. Come with me. You're my brother. You should be beside me. Our Lord needs servants. Submit to him and we'll be taken to paradise. Elijah pushes hard backwards, as if the wall would give way to an escape route.
You're scaring me. What are you talking about?
Touch the pages. He thrusts the book at his trembling brother. You'll understand. Be witness to the power of the Lord.
You're crazy.
He raises his hands defensively in front of his face.
You're not talking to God. Stop this now.
Join us. He will take us to paradise. We will be more than slaves to the land. We will be given the power of God.
You're insane.
His words fall dead in the air. No, my brother. I am enlightened. The massive figure raises himself to his full height. Will you not join me? The silence is thick. Elijah fears his own response.
No.
Then this is farewell. The book opens. He thrusts his hand against the page as if trying to physically enter it. The cavern fills with the same blinding light as before. The earth shakes. An unnatural wind fills the tunnels, growing to a deafening roar in Elijah's ear. The air is hot, burning against his face. It becomes too much. The boy closes his eyes. He hears his brother shout, Take me! Give me your power and I will be your slave! The world explodes. Elijah feels himself lifted by the hot wind and slammed against the cavern wall behind him. Then everything stops. He opens his eyes, but sees nothing in the darkness. In the preceding fury, the feeble torch had been tossed to the other side of the room, extinguishing the final ember that may have revealed his brother's absence from the room, or the fine gold book that lay at his feet.